And here we are with Michael, the curator of the Not Your Cousins podcast.
Hello everybody, it's me Michael again, professional do-it-yourself and Cheesecake Factory worker. Today we're setting up a podcast for Not Your Cousins podcast. You can check them out in the link in the description. So what we're going to do today is we're going to run you through what all the equipment we use is, how much it costs, and what kind of alternatives you could use, and what prices those will be. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the camera that we use. It is a Lumix G7. And the thing about these cameras is you need a camera that records for more than 30 minutes. And there's ways to get around this, but there's going to be parts of your video that chop out. And it's for Canon cameras. It's like this magic lantern thing that you can get. But if you want a professional looking quality, you're going to get the Lumix G7. Okay? We'll run you through the settings of this later. This is just an overview. Secondly, we have the Zoom P4. So this is a audio recording device. You could take it anywhere. It has 4 inputs for microphones. Additionally, you can have somebody call in to the podcast and you can record them with it. We're also going to need headphones. So in this case, we have some AKG headphones. Any headphones will work. Even earbuds will work, okay? You need as many as there are people in your podcast. If you're going for the highest quality of sound, you need the people who are talking to know what they sound like in the microphone. There's a lot of people that don't wear headphones in their podcasts, but that's more for the video format. So we use a Shure SM57 on this podcast, one for each person. You can also use a Shure SM7B, which is the most common one found on the Joe Rogan Experience and many other podcasts. You could use any of them. As long as it's a microphone and it points at their mouths, then it will sound good. And by the way, it's me, Michael, again. I don't know if you forgot or not, but this is the last thing, second to last thing that we have is an XLR cable. And this connects from the microphone to the recording device. Lastly, we have a microphone stand. This one pops out and is a floor stand. You can use a table stand or you can use an arm that attaches to a table. So here's the Lumix G7, and all you really need to know about this is you want to make sure that when you're aiming the camera at the individual that there's enough space above their head and to the sides of their bodies if you want to crop in post. So give yourself enough room. Don't forget, because if you forget, then you won't be able to do it, and if you can't do it, then who's going to remember what you ate for dinner last night? Alright, you guys, it's me here, Michael, and you've noticed that I've actually hit my head recently on a metal bar, so I'm sorry to anybody who is having a hard time following what I'm saying. I'm having a hard time following what I'm saying. So, when you have the Lumix G7, or any camera, whatever you choose, whether it's a Canon D50 or whatever you choose, you're going to remember to format your card. Plug in your SD card, select format, and select enter. After you've selected this, all of the data will be erased from the card and it'll be primed to record on your specific device. If you haven't formatted your card, you run the risk of losing some of your data. That is very sad. Okay, for our recording device, we have the Zoom P4. This is a recording device that can record up to 4 microphones or 3 microphones and 1 caller. It's important to additionally format the card for this. It's very simple. Additionally, it has 4 sound pads that can play recorded sounds that you've loaded on and some factory presets. We'll play for one for you here. Play one from them here. You can change the individual mic volume and headphone volume with these knobs on the top and the bottom. This is a great recording device. You can also use the Zoom H6, which is a higher quality recording device, and it also has an external recording microphone. This will cost you $199. Also, you want to remember, This uses AA batteries, and on those AA batteries you can use about 3 hours of recording before you have to switch out the batteries, or you can use a USB-C type plug-in to a standard outlet to have unlimited recording abilities. And right now it says that I could record on a 64 gigabyte card. I could record for 25 hours. So you got a lot of time in here. I'm going to show you how to attach a camera to a stand that will hold it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to place the bottom hole, which has screw holes in it. You're going to place that directly on the screw hole that's on the mic stand or camera stand. Okay, you're going to place it on, and you're going to do righty-tighty. Be careful before it latches on. It may fall off, and you do not want that. Okay, then once it's tight, you're going to hold it there, and if you have an uneven ground, you can adjust the legs, okay? You can flip out the leg extender and go up or go down if you choose. So once you've got your character in frame, then you can make sure that it's all leveled out. Okay? One thing that you want to remember is, if you're using batteries, you want to have them fully charged. Additionally, we'll show you a DC adapter chargey battery dummy, and that will reduce your ability to have any faults inside of the recording process. So you got to remember, use the dummy battery if you want to make sense for longer than 3 hours without changing your battery banks. And thank you. Now I'm going to show you how to attach a microphone holder to a microphone arm. And sometimes they're different sizes and they have adapters that can plug into the end of the microphone holder. So what you're going to do is loosen up the arm. There's many different types of microphone stands, but on this one, you turn this knob and the arm becomes loose and it can rotate. Place the microphone holder at the end of the arm and rotate the bottom. It should spin around like a corkscrew and go inside. Just screw it until it's tight. Okay, now I'm going to tighten the arm holder. Now I'm going to show you how to put a microphone in a microphone holder. Now it may be a little bit confusing, but you need to make sure you put the small end first. And hey, not that kind of end. I'm going to show you how to attach an XLR cable to a microphone. And these cables are pretty jumbled up, a lot like my head right now because I hit it on the middle. I know I'm telling you this for the first time, but my head was hurting earlier. There is a male and a female end to an XLR cable. This is the way you remember. The male is the penis end and it goes inside the vagina of the woman. Cable. Not that kind of woman. Alright, so the male will go inside, and I know you wouldn't have expected this, but this is actually a way to remember. The microphone looks like a male, but it has a female plug. A plug that has 3 extender holes inside of it, a little bit different than the human biome, but it's a way to remember. Microphone looks male but has a female with 3 extenders. Plug in the male. Make sure to line up the plugs with the 3 holes in the male side. Twist it around and you will fit inside. Click. Alright, that's fantastic. Now you're going to rotate it around, and later on we're going to attach some Velcro to make this sit nicely on the boom arm. Putting this in place over here for podcast guest Jimmy Jr. Alright, now I'm going to attach this XLR cable to the port in the recording device. Now on the top there is a male plug which is on the recording device. Male plug 3 holes don't forget, females have 3 holes, actually. Now I'm gonna set up this other one. I'm gonna snap to that. Now, podcasting could be a little bit messy because of all the cables, everything required to power the microphones, the recording device, the cameras, and the lights, actually, which we haven't mentioned yet. There's a lot of cables, so you want to make sure you're staying on top of your mentals. Line. Okay, you want to make sure you're staying on top of your mentals. Wait, line, please. Oh, yeah, okay. You want to make sure you're staying on top of your mentals, because if you don't, your cables are going to get into a twist. Your clients are going to get pissed. I don't want any pissed off people in the podcast world hating on Michael, because that's not what Michael likes. All right. So, snap in a jiffy. We got this all set up, and we just got to place the microphones in. We'll be all ready set up for you guys. Okay, so the headphones go in to the female plug on the bottom of the device. Plug it in. I know, this is more straightforward. Okay, we're almost done, everybody. So you guys, it's me, Michael, again. When you're setting up your camera, you want to make sure that the camera is about head level or just above their head, because the most pleasing angle of any person is with a sight line coming down on their face. Nobody likes to see it coming up on the chin, belly fat, or anybody else. It just doesn't look good, okay? That's why short women like being short, because tall men see them in the good light all the time. So when you're doing this, you have it just above where their head is, and it's angled down right at them. You can use the finder window here, which is nicely placed on the Lumix G7, and everything seems to be set up nicely. And you can even ask a friend to sit in if you have a friend. I don't know if I have any friends. So I just wanted to say to you, can you remember the last time that you ate at a haberdashery?
Oh, mate, I don't like haberdasheries.
Oh, damn.
Don't like them.
I haven't met any Australian that hasn't liked haberdashery. So I gotta ask you, do you even like surfing on the waves?
Listen, mate, I like turfing on the waves, mate. I don't like surfing on the waves. Not good. Mr. Canterbury here, reviewing the Not Your Cousins podcast. I must say, this is one of the greatest podcasts I have ever seen in my life. The technology alone is going to propel them so far into the future. I mean, I can see great things coming from this. I mean, good God, I'm so shocked. I suspect by the end of the quarter, 5 million subscribers and 5 new sponsors at least. Brilliant. Bloody brilliant. And as for Michael, oh God, I hope he does all right. I mean, that seems like a pretty bad head injury. Hopefully he can continue to manage such a wonderful, fantastic podcast. That's good for me. Canterbury, out.